we're going to talk about something. This was in the news about a decade ago, I think. It's been a hot minute since this was coming up. But Malaysia Flight 370, famously mentioned in a sketch we did with Khalib the Magnificent. But old Quin has come into the studio to give us some new insight, right, on on this thing.
Well, something came out the other day. So for those of you who may be unaware, I doubt there's that many people that are unaware, but back in 2014 in March, Malaysia just kind of like up and released a press conference that was just like, we misplaced a Boeing. Like, we just don't know. We don't know where it went, just kind of like the guy that went swimming and was lost at sea. It was kind of like the dog ate my homework kind of thing, but
right.
like with a passenger jet with like 239 people on it. And so, I don't know. It's actually a really interesting case. I highly recommend researching it if any of the audience doesn't know about it. So the jet took off from Kuala Lumpur at like late at night. And about an hour after that, they lost contact with the jet. It was headed for Beijing. And so they searched around in the South China Sea for like 2 days, couldn't find anything of this jet. Eventually, the Malaysian government revealed that their military radar had tracked it as it like turned around and flew back across the Malaysian peninsula.
Someone left the oven on.
Yeah, no, exactly.
What's going on?
They left the autopilot on there or something, So
forgot their water bottle.
Yeah, I got the text.
Yeah, exactly.
It was girlfriend him with that "Hey,
yeah,
you up?"
Yeah.
Turn this around.
He said, "Hey, let's go take this picture of Australia." Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. So, but then, so they were searching for this, a bunch of conspiracy theories and whatnot, and then eventually, I think this was a couple weeks after this happened, British telecommunications company Emerstat releases this data they have from a satellite that was communicating with the plane because of like the entertainment system in the plane, that it'll communicate with the satellite every so often. And so they tracked this plane way out over the Indian Ocean and to where it just like terminated. So no one knows where the plane is. Most people think it's over the Indian Ocean, but of course aliens, the Chinese, conspiracy theories, dolphins. Hamas probably thinks it's dolphins that took it, but I mean,
they can jump pretty high.
As well. Yeah, no, but anyhow, so recently, I mean, obviously massive search, like $200 million search, like 120,000 square kilometer area, massive search. Anyway, recently there's this guy that says that people who use amateur radio signals, so like us, they create this like network of like radio signals that bounce off the ionosphere essentially and communicate back with the Earth. And when an airplane passes through those signals, it causes disturbances that are actually trackable. It's called like whisper technology or something like that. I think his name's like Richard Goffrey. I think he's a physicist, I think, but he's
some nerd somewhere.
Some
loser.
Yeah, no, I saw an interview, dude. He was wearing glasses. Like, this dude doesn't know, bro. What the heck? Yeah. No, but anyway, he like tracked the jet using this apparently, and now he has apparently very specific coordinates where it could be like 8 years after. So apparently there are talks of another search to be launched in the summer. So
and Hamas will be first in line to volunteer.
Hamas will be like, we'll go look. We'll scuba dive down there. But
watch out for the dolphins.
Yeah. right. Yeah. No, it's I don't know. It's super interesting because like first of all, no one has ever lost a jet before. Like it's just never happened. Like as kind of, I guess, humorous as the concept is, like every other passenger jet that has ever gone down has been found within a matter of like 2 or 3 years, except for this one. And just the fact that there were so many like big dramatic reveals in this case, to where people were searching like on complete like sides of the globe that are now like completely contrary to where it is that they're searching now because of new data and new evidence. And I mean, obviously the leading theory is that the pilot himself kind of like hijacked the plane and did a whole like mass murder suicide type sort of thing. So it's, I don't know, it's really interesting, kind of like true crime aviation sort of mystery all wrapped up into one. So I don't know, I'm personally excited just to see if they can kind of find it.
Yeah, it's been what, 8 years?
Yeah, it was 2014. This thing went missing.
Wow.
The only thing I'm thinking about is the ocean floor is probably significantly different after being down there for so long. So if it's down there, there's a high probability that it's just covered with like ocean floor.
Yeah. That's the thing. He was actually Richard Goffrey was actually talking about that, and he said there's newer technology now than they had in 2014 that allows searchers to locate like pieces of metal that are submerged under sand through like
sonar almost.
Yeah, kind of sort of like that. So hopefully that wouldn't be too big of an issue. But the Indian Ocean is first of all so vast, and there's so many like topographical features to navigate around when you're actually trying to search or map the bottom of that ocean, like volcanoes, ridges, caverns, things like that. So I mean, it'd definitely be super, super difficult to try to find. Just Yeah, definitely
Right.
like that.
Imagine holding your breath that long too. Gosh.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like those people, man.
People are champs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. The oxygen mask, bro.
Think about the guy that got down the Marianas Trench, dude. That guy
Yeah.
has insane lungs.
So like, why do you think? why do you think it's taken them this long to find it? Like, why is this the one that just has never been found yet?
Yeah. No, it's really the first thing is because I think like definitely something intentional was going on here.
Okay.
Most
Yeah.
planes, they go down, something goes wrong with like the navigation or the instrumentation or the contact, and pilots lose their way, they misnavigate and they crash into the ocean, something like that. This one, it really seems just based off of the fact that the transponders, when the Kuala Lumpur initially lost contact with the plane, the transponders were manually turned off from the cabin. Definitely seems like there was something.
Yo, that's kind of
Yeah.
sus.
Man.
Oh, very sus. Very
Wait a minute.
sus.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, unless the plane just like pulled like a full like planes from the Cars universe. It was like, I don't want to be the slave of humanity anymore. Like definitely
God.
something or other happened. Someone
Oh,
turned it
gosh.
off. So
I think that's the most likely scenario.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's certainly in there. It's certainly one of the contenders. But yeah.
The autopilot just like gained like self-awareness.
Yeah, it was like,
planes
I
have
want to go
become
on a vacation
sentient.
to Hawaii.
The bottom of the Indian Ocean.
The autopilot started identifying as a submarine,
Yeah.
and then
Freaking Ultron got into the plane and was
Yeah.
like, well,
we're
see
taking
what type of
down.
bad boy
Yeah.
maneuvers this baby can do.
Man, okay, that is actually like really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they probably don't have that many roller coasters in Malaysia, so it's possible someone just got up front and was like, let's just see how many G's I can take.
Well, let's see what this puppy
Yeah.
can do, right?
Or
what does this button do?
Yeah, exactly. No, my other theory is that like those kids that always just kick in the back of the seat
Yeah.
on the airplanes.
Yeah.
My other theory is that one of those just finally got like sentient enough to be like, you know what? I could not only kick the guy's seat in front of me, I could kill this fool. Like I could take over this plane and just like crawled like somehow underneath the door to get to the cockpit.
Little
It was like-
baby.
yeah, I was like,
I thought you were
Took
gonna
the
say
plane
someone
down.
was kicking the pilot's seat. He's like, dude, I'm done with this. I'm so done with this.
I was just like, bro, this thing is going in the water.
But in all
you cannot swim.
seriousness, like
Yeah.
8 years is such a long time.
It
to not
is.
do
It really
anything.
is.
Like if your family was on there.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Bro, and the people, the really horrible thing about this is like as much as we made jokes about it and whatnot, the people whose
Yeah, this
families-
really isn't funny.
yeah,
guys.
yeah, no,
You should feel bad
no,
for laughing.
It is funny, but it's also horrible for the people because they just
Yeah.
like they have no idea what happened, and this is one of those scenarios that there were so many different conflicting pieces of evidence that
Yeah.
pointed to so many different areas. It's like anything really could have happened. Like in my opinion, the clear theory is a pilot hijacking, but another hijacking, some sort of
Yeah.
mechanical failure, even like remote like control of the plane by some sort of superpower because of some important cargo or covert operative that was on it. Like all of that is possible, I guess.
Yeah.
More wide-fetched, but like but these people don't know, and like conspiracy theorists will just continue to torture them until there's some
Yeah.
sort of wreck
I
found.
mean,
Yeah.
assassination attempt also seems like a really interesting way of going about it.
Well, I
'Cause
don't-
there's
yeah.
200 and what? You said 230 on the plane?
239 on the plane total. So
But
That's
that,
a good way to hide it.
Yeah.
well,
it is.
maybe in the sense of like the individual, but once people start digging around and start looking, like a plane's appearance is going to attract a lot more attention
Yeah.
Sure.
than like some other methods of assassination.
But going over 230 passengers on the plane, my
Right.
point is that there's so many people that you
Yeah.
have to look very closely at every single passenger.
sure,
Mhm.
So
sure.
it's a good way to hide
Which
it kind of
is-
in plain sight.
Yeah, that's something they actually they did a lot of that, and they found two Iranian individuals who were traveling using stolen passports.
Oh.
And so these individuals were headed for Beijing. However, they checked out. They were apparently seeking asylum. They didn't have any known like terrorist affiliations or
Oh,
anything
okay.
like that.
They just
And,
stole some passports.
I mean, the big thing that makes me think it's not a terror attack or anything like that is one, the plane didn't like fly into anything, and it was
Right.
right over the Malay Peninsula. That would have been the clear objective, or you could have just kept flying into something in Beijing. And secondly, no terror organization ever claimed that. And I mean,
Right.
like we all know, like when your milk goes bad in your fridge, ISIS is like, we did that. It was us.
That's
Screw
right.
you, American.
Yeah.
But just like that, just like didn't happen this time. So I don't know. It's certainly a really, really interesting case. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
just honestly, just kind of hope they find it to see what they found out.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think Malaysia definitely doesn't want that plane found though, because
Oh, for sure.
it will certainly reflect badly on them if there's any more evidence that indicates
Right.
the pilot was responsible.
And then once they let the FAA get it, well, I don't know. I don't know if it'd be the FAA, but like whoever goes in there and they're like, oh well,
yeah,
something was a little sketchy.
well,
yeah. Well, looks
don't,
here.
Don't know what happened to this baby. Yeah, I don't know.